Hi there everybody, Larry Kotch, once again another video on lead generation and marketing, and today I want to talk to you about a really common problem that I'm seeing, and that is what I'm calling the small business marketing trap. And yes, it's a bit of a depressing topic, but let's face it, you guys have to understand, I run a marketing agency. And every single day I get calls from the same sort of people, and I also get leads and inquiries from my website saying pretty much the similar thing and having the same conversations. And so that's why I felt compelled to make this video, because I think it's going to help a lot of smaller businesses who are looking for help with their marketing, and it's going to help them understand why they are in a trap and how not to make some of the really key mistakes when you're looking to solve your marketing problems. When you're first starting out, lead generation should be a massive focus for you. It doesn't matter how good the delivery of your services are, or your onboarding process, or your back-end admin and HR. Yes, those things are important, but if you don't have enough leads coming in, that means you don't have enough people to talk to, which means you can't make enough sales, which means whatever you're doing in the rest of your business, however good it might be, is never going to get the chance to flourish and the chance to grow, because you haven't solved the actual major problem of which all other problems stem. If you've got enough leads, you basically tick all of the boxes going thereafter. Because the worst that's going to happen is if your operation isn't ready to handle more clients, you can just turn the leads down. So the situation you want to find yourself in as a business, and where you can really start growing exponentially, is if you crack lead generation. You want to eliminate it as a problem and always know that each month you're going to have an abundance of leads. So this can be one of the biggest challenges for any small businesses. And as we know with the statistics of small businesses, most of them fail within 2 years. And I would guess that the reason why that happens is they never solve this problem. That being said, even if you accepted that premise, you now want to think about, well, how do I solve lead generation? Do I use an agency? Do I hire someone? Do I use some freelancers? Or do I learn myself how to do this for myself? The problem with small companies is the budgets are limited. So what happens is you end up addressing the market and saying, how am I going to solve my digital marketing? How am I going to get leads from online or wherever? And the tendency for people when they're approaching the market is to shop around on price. And I can't stress enough how much of a big problem this is. So first of all, if you're going to hire someone who's not very expensive, digital marketing is like any other professional service. You pay for what you get. If you hire someone who is straight out of university, there is just no way they are going to know enough to compete with your competitors going after the same clients with more history, more awareness, and way better teams. You're just never going to be able to hire the kind of talent that you need in order to compete with them. So if you are going to compete with them, you might be spending in the UK, somebody on at least a 60K salary, and in the US maybe $100,000, something like that. And that's the minimum you're going to have to pay to get someone who's got a kind of basic understanding of what to do. So that's quite a big expense when you think about it monthly as a small business. And if you've got less than 10 employees, less than 20 employees, it can be really a stressful thing for you to actually go ahead and commit to someone like that. So what I often find with smaller companies is that they try and go out and find an agency that can do things for them on the cheap. Now, I want to say to you, please do not do this, because you're going to catch yourself in a trap. And the trap is this. On one side of the market, you have agencies or service providers that cost very little. They will tick the box of marketing for you. You can go to sleep thinking, great, I've got someone looking after my marketing, but they will never ever achieve anything. The second camp of agencies are very, very big agencies, or I would class my agency as somewhere in the middle, but sort of bigger agencies that charge a hell of a lot of money, but the result is that they actually get the job done. And they actually get you competing with the market. So your tendency would be, as a smaller company, you've got a small budget, you kind of think, I can't really afford these big agencies, I should just go for a small agency. Well, I want to tell you that that is actually the wrong choice. If you want to get out of the trap, all you're going to do if you pick a small agency is the following. You're going to pay them some nominal amount, a few $100s a month, whatever it is, to manage your Facebook or LinkedIn. They're not going to have the right strategy, because thinking through strategy is very hard. That's why there are big companies in your space that spend millions of pounds on just strategy. And they're not going to think about that. They're not going to come with the right approach. They're not going to do anything to help you stand out above your competitors, which is actually what you need to do as a small company. You actually need to work harder than everyone else because you don't have the awareness yet. They're certainly not going to be able to help with that. They're going to pick one channel, they're going to try and generate some leads, but they're going to farm out the actual work to somewhere like India, the Philippines, South America, wherever it's cheaper to do the work. Think about it this way. if you are sitting in the UK or you're sitting in the US, where the most of my clients sit, think about how expensive it would be to hire someone full-time to work for you. Think about that cost per month. Now think about that translated into a $300 retainer. How much value do you really think someone can create for you with $300? Do you really think they're going to deliver transformational value? Do you really think they're going to come with a strategy that is world-beating? Of course not. So why bother doing it? You're just ticking the box to make yourself feel good, but I guarantee you it's just a long road to nowhere. You're going to be on endless calls, talking to them about why performance isn't there. They're going to be coming up with excuses. They're going to be trying to create a relationship with you and sign you up for 12-month contracts so that you don't really actually focus on the important numbers and metrics, and you just get bamboozled and you're stuck in these 12-month contracts, not really sure why things are going on, hearing excuses and just assuming that this is how things work. Well, it's not the way. Ideally, what I want to suggest to you to avoid going to anything like that sort of part of the market is just learn yourself. I guarantee you, if you just do a couple courses on Udemy, if you do a couple courses on LinkedIn Learning, if you do a couple courses just by watching free stuff on YouTube. I mean, I've got a LinkedIn ads tutorial just on this channel that I did that's been very popular. I've got a LinkedIn bot tutorial that shows you how to generate leads directly from LinkedIn inboxes. So you can just learn these things on YouTube and through free learning websites and even paid courses, and I guarantee you, you will be smarter than the cheap agency. Because the way the cheap agency business model works is, right, attract loads of SMEs and startups that don't know what they're doing, attract them with these tiny low prices that they can feel comfortable fits into their budget, don't actually deliver any values, lock them into long contracts and farm the work out to the cheapest person possible, where they're charging £5 an hour or £10 an hour. That's the way that those businesses work. And if you get into that, you're just a mug and you're getting taken for a ride. And those businesses do really well because, let's face it, there's way more small businesses than there are big businesses. And that is the reason, because they don't have their lead generation in step. And they don't have their lead generation, and you won't ever get your lead generation in step if you follow that rule. So you've got to get out of that trap. And unfortunately, because you can't afford to work with an agency like, let's say, my agency or other bigger agencies, is you've got to learn yourself. Learn yourself, see what makes these platforms tick, investigate how marketing works so that you at least have a basic understanding, you're able to drive some results, understand what your limitations are, make the unknown unknowns known unknowns at least, and that way at least you've got a footing and some revenue and some traction, so then you can work with a bigger agency, and then you're going to have the best result. So if I were you, I would just, if you're starting out, learn yourself, experiment yourself. Once you're done with that, then save money aside to be able to work on a 6-month retainer, a 4 to 6 month retainer with a decent sized agency. You're going to have to put away, something like 4K a month. That's sterling, so maybe $6,000 a month. If you can save $36,000 or £25,000, then you know that you can pay for a really legitimate agency to do a proper 6-month account that will actually generate a return on investment. And once you've got that return on investment, then the thing can keep rolling over each month, because you'll be making more money from your marketing than you're spending. But you need a big team of analytics experts, creative experts, strategy experts, the platform experts like LinkedIn, Google. You need that whole team of absolute experts that have done it for your industry before. So don't go for the cheap people, just ignore them. Learn for yourself, save up, work with a serious agency, and then your lead generation worries are over. I hope that's really useful. Please get out of this trap. I hate receiving phone calls from all you guys just saying, hey, we've got all these big plans, but our budget is £300-400. It's not going to work for you. And I just feel I have to get this message out there, because hopefully one person will hear it and save themselves a whole lot of time and will work with me later down the line. Let's face it, that's what I'm angling for. So take that as some advice. Do with it what you will. If you enjoyed the frankness of this conversation, of this YouTube video, make sure you subscribe and do me a favor and smash that like button. It helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm, helps promote this out to other people. And if you're interested in doing lead generation for yourself, make sure to learn the key things by downloading my Leads on Tap system. There'll be a link in the description below, and that's going to give you a 20-page, everything you need to know about how to generate unlimited high-quality leads on tap for any B2B business. So go ahead and download that, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. See you for the next video. Take care.